Hakvanit. Surrounded by the light of the infinite, I dwell in a hallowed space.
Putrit Vana. In the silence of my mind and the surrender of my heart, all answers reveal themselves.
Asvabil. I celebrate the holiness of my body through the sacred rituals of eating, cleansing, and rest. Hekparuk. Through kindness and firmness do I guard the reverent sanctity of my life. Sala Virivat. With the lightness of an impeccable heart, the humor of life reveals itself to me. Ernesha Sata. I participate fully with the currents of life that flow through my day.
Kasanut Vaba. I act on my inspiration and the universe responds to support my dreams.
Liselvinet. I am a vital and potent expression of infinite life. Kitirus. Through my compassionate appreciation of the diversity of life, life forms flourish.
Hesh Ranamis. I boldly and authentically live beyond the confines of human boundaries.
Pluhaneresit. In fearlessness and trust, I attract guidance through grace and inspiration. Isterenus. I live from an eternal perspective and act from the still point of endlessness that I am.
Virinat Plahut. Through awareness, the never-ending miracles of life become evident.
Silitranavit. I embrace life in an eternal, sensual love affair. Hersenelesvi. I empower my eternal journey by acting deliberately and with aware focus in the moment.
Bru Haranas. I am the self-sovereign creator of my circumstances, shaping a journey of grace through sensitive awareness of the guiding voice of inspiration.
Velsh Haranot. Through visions of hope, I draw in my future. Through diligent creative endeavor, I shape my present. Klanik. The miracle of life reveals itself to my appreciative wonderment.
Si Herenut. Though I walk among men, I dwell in the reality of Godhood.
Eles Brit Pranus. Through the harmlessness of my presence, I am supported and embraced by nature.
Avranil, the miraculous life unfolds itself in the presence of boldness beyond reason.
Hus vrapanit, through the firm foundation of trust in the benevolence of life, do I maintain resilient balance.
Lis kanalut, in humility I walk in the sacred space of the holy temple of my eternal being, exploring the mystery of life.
Elevirivat, with patience I acknowledge the folly of others, revealing to me what I am not, that I may more fully understand what I am.
Seltranut, each mundane act turns into an act of glory when infused with joy and done in devotion.
Evi erenus, like all life forms, I flourish from my appreciation. Every day I find in me that which is praiseworthy.
Mishpaplenet, mistakes are an illusion as I innocently explore ways of gaining self-knowledge.
Ka vere ni lavet. I am free from the claims of tribes, nationalities, and races. I am a boundless being, an eternal child of the cosmos.
Plesarut vreba, the river of life strives to break down the stagnant and supports the fluid life that self generates.
Sek saranot. From deep awareness of what inspires me is self-knowledge born. From self-knowledge comes self-love. El Samir. Interact sparingly with others, that the great light of your being may bless them. Because the dawn comes every day, we are blind to the miracle of its presence.
Travenuk, live the frugal life of a master, taking only what you need, lest you deplete the environment and yourself.
Arspasit. I relinquish trying to control the future, but await its surprises with a trusting heart. Ak vreba. Size and space does not exist within infinite life. Within me the cosmos dwells, and within the cosmos I dwell. Selasut. Allow others to succeed and fail, for to deprive them of their mistakes is to withhold their lessons. Ki ta bilesta. I attract elegant manifestation and graceful unfolding by living vibrantly and from the authenticity of my heart. Ma sanes. My actions are rooted in the quiet confidence of surrender. arc salesut. With the delight of a child, I explore the never-ending miracle of individuation in the cosmic playground. Litares. I am building the sacred edifice of my life by patiently laying the bricks of kindness and devotion. Asplacir. Bliss and rapture flow through me like a laughing stream over pebbles. Havanut. In Godhood I embrace my humanness like an adult carries the inner child within. Mikatel. I honor the sacred contribution of my being to the artistic masterpiece of created life. Evarustava. Power emanates from my being. With every touch and every word I speak, I bear this responsibility with reverence. Maraklut. With great consideration, I powerfully shape my environment with my words and thoughts. Hakvabil. By seeing the good in others, I help emphasize it into expression. Elshvratel. Innocently, I experience others with an open heart and full awareness. Kavalit. Trust in my ability to self-sustain myself is my firm foundation during winds of change. Sekavil. Within the vastness of my eternal being, all moments are equally important. Milasatna. I dissolve the dreams of my past, lest they distract from the power of the moment. Vra Blik. I awaken the treasure chest of sacred centers in my body to express as a resurrected being. Nicht du nicht, ne asech, usa vipi, echiaunes, setuanes. Usa vipi. Be comforted now, my children. Rest in the knowledge that I carry you in my arms.
I wish to explain why the emphasis has been today and will be today on the male DNA being rectified. It must be understood that both females and males have both male components and female components. Males might demonstrate the male components more strongly, but women also benefit from healing the male aspects on Earth because it heals within them the maleness that is there. So, why male DNA programming has become flawed is as follows. The male role models that shape how men behave are themselves dysfunctional. The old programs of how men should behave have been carried over from many generations. The role of the male as protector, for instance, is such an integral part of being a male that at times enemies may even be fabricated to necessitate the need for protection. After millennia, these belief systems of male behavior have become an integral part of male DNA, perpetuating wars and conflicts. Men and women who choose not to sully themselves by watching blood and violence on the media are made fun of as being weak. The environment is portrayed as being scary and hostile in order to create a need for manly protection. The media reinforces this belief of a hostile environment by having the audience watch primarily trauma. As a result of this conditioned programming that associates manliness with a callous response to violence, men at times want to see violence, gore, and blood because it makes them feel manly. In fact, this way of feeling tough and manly can frequently be seen in adolescence. The true danger of pretending life is threatening lies in the following. Firstly, someone who sees the world from a programmed perspective is not free and can easily be controlled by others. Secondly, the biggest danger of living a programmed life is that as we see the world, so it becomes. Even those supposed role models of how males should behave aren't free themselves. So the conclusion of all of this so far is that after generations of believing that violence and fighting is the manly way to be, maleness as being antagonistic becomes programmed into the message of the human DNA. This makes males incapable of embracing opposing viewpoints in a more graceful and evolved way. When there's nothing else to fight, they create domestic discord by turning on the women in their lives. Repairing male aspects as programmed in DNA begins by understanding what the problem is that we have just explained. To further compound the problem of the distortion found in the male persona, males and females each have a grid of information that tells them how to be male or female. When Atlantis sank, a hole was created in the male grid, and spiritual warriorship as self-mastery was mainly lost. In other words, they didn't become spiritual warriors, they stayed as physical fighting warriors. Healing the dysfunctional warrior within requires thoughtful action and self-examination as to where daily decisions originate from. Toltecs call this stalking the self. Do they come authentically or from programming? Furthermore, study and apply the goddess archetypes. I have blended a range of goddess archetypes alchemical oils to help facilitate the 13 goddesses in expression. Beloved ones, thank you for your dedication to making this planet a safe and habitable world for all creatures on it. Thank you for being among us. I love and respect our light workers, our original ones, gods and goddesses all. Thank you and many blessings.
Welcome to the walk-through of Entrava Vishvael, the male DNA repair protocol. This is both a ceremonial protocol and a Belvaspata angel healing protocol, by which we mean that you can do the ceremony with the various wheels and the power sigil and the Belvaspata, or you can just do the Belvaspata as a standalone. So this is a specialty Belvaspata, which means, among others, that no opening sigils are required, and you can learn more about the specialty protocols in the explainer PDF that's included with this Belvaspata protocol. And it's a self-Belvaspata, which means here that no initiation is required to perform it on yourself, but the initiation is required to perform it on others. And if you're new to this, you are, of course, recommended to learn more about Belvaspata, and you can do so at belvaspata.org. But basically how this works is that for every principle, there are 2 sigils, which you will see here on screen. The sigil on the left is the sigil quality, referred to sometimes as sigil name, or sigil quality. This is the sigil that you draw. And then on the right is the sigil of its corresponding angel god. And this is the sigil, this is the glyph that you don't draw, you just look at. And the way to approach or think about this angel god is that they place the corresponding sigil. They place the sigil on the left to which they belong. They place it wherever it needs to go. So, for the sigil, the glyph that's on the left, that is, you say the name silently or out loud, and you draw it in the air in front of you. The direction is left to right, always, and first the upper line, in case there is a choice of multiple lines. You can also trace the sigil with 1 or 2 fingers on the same hand, for example, index and middle, from left to right. And this is something you could also opt for if it turns out that the sigil is too complex, especially when there's a time pressure, such as what we're doing here today within a global ceremony setting. And then when you've drawn the sigil, you look at the angel god and instruct them, intend for them to place the sigil that you just drew wherever it goes. And then at the end there are the so-called closing sigils. And these sigils you draw to close the session, no matter whether you did all the sigils in the protocol or not. You have to close the session with the closing sigils. Typically, the sequence of these sigils is praise, love, and gratitude. That's the closing sigils at its core. Sometimes you see the sigils for surrendered trust and hope appended, but essentially it's these three. And for this protocol, as with the sleep protocol that was released last month, April 2024, the sequence is love, praise, gratitude. And the sequence matters because it's like an equation that equates to something or that combines to a certain outcome. And in the case of PLG, it's the opening of potential, whereas for love, praise, and gratitude, it equates to adoration in action. Now, of course, this is more than a walkthrough. I just phrase it casually like that because A, it's all I'm doing here, and B, to convey that we're not dealing with a group healing or whatever, with a few exceptions, such as, for example, doing Belvaspata for a worn, torn location. Group healings and group sessions are not a thing. This has been established in recent months. And so if you ever hear a practitioner say something to that effect, you can politely correct them. But we are doing a global ceremony. It is designed to affect the ways in which the male and male components of the psyche express globally. But the way in which we're doing it is more like synchronized swimmers. I'm hosting the walkthrough, you do the Belvaspata for yourself, and then this collective intent, this collective synchronization is what generates an exponential effect that is greater than the sum of its parts. We're all focused as individuals on what is in front of us. We're not directly trying to target the whole, the collective, but in doing so, in synchronized fashion, we are exponentially influencing and helping to heal the whole in terms of male DNA expression. But what the ceremonial context, the components that comprise the ceremonial space, what that does is amplify and enhance and supercharge this global healing, this global effect of performing this ceremony together now and then subsequently alone or with a few others. And what the ceremonial space consists of is 2 times 16 wheels, 16 wheels for the inner ring and 16 wheels for the outer ring. You assemble the inner ring clockwise, starting with wheel 1 through 16 in a circle around the space where you will be laying. Doesn't have to be perfect, but it should be as evenly spaced as possible. The 16 wheels that comprise the circle. You start at 1 o'clock and then should end up with a circle that can fit your body inside, laying on your back, and the wheels are pointing outwards. by which I mean that from where you are in the circle, they're facing right side up vis-a-vis your position, meaning you can actually read the text on the page if you had to. And then you repeat this for the outer circle around that. And then do not exit the ceremonial circle without disassembling it counterclockwise first, disassembling it, starting with the inner circle and then the outer circle. You'll be laying on your back. Behind your navel is where you place the power sigil. Again, right side up, the top of the power sigil is pointing upwards towards your head. You are inside the circle, the assembled ceremonial space, the power sigil behind your navel, laying down on your back, facing the ceiling. And when you hear me say the sigil name, you can repeat it, and then you draw or trace the sigil, and then look at the angel god. But first, we will go into expansion. Entrava Vishvael, the Belvaspata, to remove combative tendencies from human DNA, the sublimation of the desire to fight into self-mastery. One, for the healing of damage done to human DNA by global cataclysm. The sigil name, Masutat Sarut Elesta. And the angel god bruverenich. 2. Removing programs of aggression imposed on males and masculine aspects of the psyche. The sigil name is Glasater Nedavish. And the angel god Karasel Erustava. 3. Becoming inner spiritual warriors to fight against illusion. The sigil Ketresut Minueres Veresta. And the angel god is Spelechnut. 4. The release of suppressed feelings of tenderness. The sigil Aktu Setvavish Haresta. The angel god Adet Frivael. 5. Releasing the bondage of others' expectations. The sigil Asatu Skaranut Erch Padanu. The angel god is Belavish Heresta. 6. Living fully through expressed authenticity. The sigil Esteranuk Areshtu Manet. The angel god Lisater Vrivedavash. 7. For the erasing of violent tendencies during sex. The sigil is Erech Selsavi Erestu. And the angel god is Mihavech. 8. For the elimination of the desire to conquer and subjugate. The sigil Sihater Vilesh Nava Velasby. And the angel god is Uruvash Estu. 9. Replacing hatred and bigotry with compassion. The sigil Usteranus Haresta Bivarus. the angel god Keleshtar Servahit. 10. The interaction of sensitive masculinity with considerate action. The sigil name Nanech Servatu Spelechvi. The angel god Eleshtru Plivarestu Aresvi. 11. Erasing preconceived feminine expectations of masculine behavior. The sigil name is El Truvanes Bivelesh Vivastra. The angel god Akmenenu. 12. Strengthening independent morality that ignores the promptings of social conditioning. The sigil is Huruta Meset Bravanot. And the angel god is Adektu Manenuvis. 13. Eliminating the fear of being ostracized and excluded. The sigil name is Feshidat Manusechvi Udas. The angel god Adektu Minavish. 14. Eliminating the need to be accepted and respected by others. The sigil name Kalechvis Pres Prebeta Mihuvanet. And the angel god is Liuvaster. 15. Evoking deep respect and appreciation of the feminine and eliminating mistrust. The sigil name is Kirinach Velesh Paravi. The angel god Badonash Pelavi. 16. Removing fear of the superior strength of others by eliminating the illusion of comparisons. The sigil is Aranus Miset Viveleshvi. And the angel god Arestu Vivadahus. And then once more, for this protocol, as with the sleep Belvaspata, you close your Belvaspata session with love, praise, and gratitude that combine or equate to adoration in action.
Today, after many days of 14 hours of work every day, I finally had a bit of break to go to my hairdresser, have my hair conditioned, cut, prepared. She looked through the window into my car and said, "Who's that sitting in your back seat?" And she could clearly see the Lemurian Ascended Master who was sitting in the back seat. She gave my hairdresser her name. She came inside the hair salon and she proceeded to give me information regarding the Fountain of Youth. Sara Disi, the body of information of the Fountain of Youth. I wrote down as rapidly as I could everything she gave me, and then when she was finished, it was just the time I was ready to leave, she said, "Until we meet again," to my hairdresser in the Lemurian language, which my hairdresser could clearly hear. A very, very charming but surreal experience. This is what she told me, which is what I wrote down. She gave my hairdresser some information as well that I haven't yet had the chance to study. Akanichi yasa patsukuvuhi kinika hatats uchehne sabavi. From the motherland, the Saradisi information of the Fountain of Youth came forth. It was sent to many places in the world through missionaries that went 2 by 2. Mostly they were husband and wife. Chabakinitsita kukujiha, to the land of the clouds in the south. Peru, which is high above the cloud table, was sent a husband Amaraka and his wife Amaraku. From these names, the Americas were named, and they taught the body of information of youthening to those who came to the holy cities that were above the clouds. Chaki kia kuhanache asbach kuva kiveheye anachvanu savaikesh su amanach pitikia unas. To the Red Land in the east, we sent from the motherland another couple, I and Taya. This was during the 3rd age of the motherland. Kihakuchah niseh, they went to the land of the red sand, which they're referring to Atlantis. Chapakuhanechih, Ahukih kanas, at a time when the land was divided into 2 large islands, Ruta Echi Anas Aitaya. Ruta was the one island, Aitaya was the other. And with them came the science of eternal youth and longevity. Pachuka manasata ivikihach, when the land sank beneath the waves. This information was lost, except that it went to the Panhandle in the east and also to the islands in the north. Chakuhahkechi Amaraka. This is of the land America. They are speaking, she's saying, that a few of those of Atlantis who had this knowledge escaped to Florida, which she refers to as the Panhandle, and also north to islands, amongst which was the Montauk Island, which is the tribe that built pyramids in the sand. These were still visible as late as the 1915s. Nishbaruch Kazakh, Isita Hunash, there were those who lived in those places. that were many thousands of years old and did not show a sign of aging. And so, explorers came, and she's referring to people like Ponce de Leon, who was looking for the Fountain of Youth. This is part of the Florida ancient myths and lore. They mistakenly thought the Fountain of Youth was water pouring from the earth. But the fountain is within the body, and if you but understand how to set it free, it renews the body eternally. Kahu vici, nasu, kikya kunatsava, mene kahusa, chihakuta sanaragan pakuhivih. Nusa vache. She's saying that today I was introduced to the oil of a tree that grows only high in the mountains of Morocco, which was very prevalent during the times of Atlantis. And it just so happens that my hairdresser put oil on my hair that made it very soft, called Aragan oil. And it comes from the Aragan tree of Morocco. Pachaka Guinness. There were several external sources, Chapakuha Kiheya Kanas, that did enhance longevity, but not as profoundly as internal knowledge and practices. Chikiki Namaraganta Pahu Ikinisa Achihe. The land of the leopard, which is Ethiopia, had a mushroom that would produce very great age. So too, the Aragan tree's oil erases memory from areas of the body that thinks itself to be old. In other words, if a wrinkle forms, such oil would erase the memory of the wrinkle so that the skin would reform itself. Chabaki kia kunach isihya kuch asa. The water that comes from deep artesian aquifers also assists with this, in that it keeps the body younger by producing trace elements and elements that are not available readily in the soil on the surface of the earth at this time. It is to be noted in your ancient records, and I'm sure she's referring, for instance, to the long lifespans of the old patriarchs whose genealogy is given in the book of Genesis, Exodus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, and so forth, as well as in the book of Abraham, which is part of the Mormon scriptures called the Pearl of Great Price. People grew older in those days. Chabach kusech, ishatach nasa, nanasakapauze, ukayih anas. There's also a kind of underwater plant that grows in fresh water that, when taken, either dried and ground up as powder in small dosages — I'm seeing a teaspoon in front of my face — as small dosages every day, that would produce also the release of old memories in the internal organs so that they would once again rejuvenate. Nachbas karach usech, ashakavaskava hiech. Great bodies of information shall come forth for you. Ichakyach it shall be after the sun is at its highest, which means after the solstice. Pikyakuch nisite anashvasu what can you do to prepare for this? Ki ha ke yechne. The key is this. Chakya sunichi panach. To eliminate inner and outer space. To do this, you must start to communicate with the inner senses as much as you do with the external. The hidden star races and the star races that are known produce the poetry of dreaming. They represent 24 dream cycles. Beyond that, there are short story images that give you the depths of the natures of man. Beyond that, you shall receive automatic writing, especially in the mornings when you awaken. This is from the direction of within. Utilize these, for it is a way for you to begin to learn how to speak and receive from your inner senses. Nishtarach basuch kiachva aseve. This is the first step to receiving this great information. Become proficient at it. And so it is that this sacred body of information of the Saradisi traveled from Atlantis not only to the Seminole Indians in Florida, but also into the areas of Europe that were visible at that time above the ocean. And so eventually it was passed down from secret society to secret society until it came into the hands of the very first alchemists. From them, the Voynich manuscript was written. And so later, the Voynich manuscript, after multiple centuries, ended up in Yale University's library. But in it is contained, although none can read it, the information of the fountain of youth. And now it is time for me to say goodbye. But I say goodbye also from the Lemurian Ascended Master. Her name is Tri Ech Ma, and her way of saying goodbye, Avanach Etna Ish, until I look again upon your face. Angel 41, Rat Parvi. For experience to be interpreted, a past event has to be remembered. Both the roles of the masculine, which is light, to interpret, and the feminine, which is frequency, to remember, are the causes of time. The past forms from memory, and the future from that which interprets the past. Memory is the retention of obsolete frequencies. Where a frequency lingers, a space forms that is different from anything else. Frequency forms a space in which it can replay its ghosts from the past over and over again, like a broken record, until we finally release it. This is a very succinct description of how the disc of life has formed. We held on to a past memory in order to uncover its meaning, to discover it more. And so a frequency was formed. The masculine
said it would interpret it. Light is accessed information. So it had to furthermore strengthen the retention of a past event. Memory is the retention of obsolete frequencies. When we play a piano piece and there is a specific note that we don't let go of, it makes discordance. Frequency creates form. And in this form, therefore, there is a distortion. What an incredible insight. It is our holding on to past memories that continues to create the distortion that many blame God's creation for. 42. Misat Vravi. The absolute truth is that as long as we think we need to remember in order to know, we are bound by yesterday's events. When we trust that we will know without having memories tell us what we should perceive, we are living beyond the matrix of space and time. It is truly a complete joy when images form in the very deep part of the mind, effortlessly, telling you what to do and choose so that your life develops flawlessly. The frequency of holding on to a memory formed a space, and there it is that the memory is replayed over and over again like a ghost from the past. This is how the disk of cosmic life has formed. 43. Artek Kluva. Timeless existence can be compared to a flashlight, shining its light of awareness on alternate realities. Life moves through 3 different cosmoses that each comprises 3 layers or dimensions of life. They consist of vast rivers of subatomic particles, each with a differing frequency. They represent body, soul, and spirit. The bodies of man, as the microcosm of the macrocosm, consist of the same. 44. Bri Hara Rat. The 3 different realities through which life moves create a disk. The 2-dimensional quality of the disk creates limitation through unexpressed and unrecognized aspects of existence. It produces a contracted perspective, which in turn produces opposition as we travel life's journey. This is another way of approaching the same theme of how karma is formed. We are moving through the 3 realities of body, soul, and spirit. The 3 is a 2-dimensional disk. And because you can only see what's on that 2-dimensional disk, you cannot properly assess life. And you see things as though it is an illusion. And from those things you make your choices. It creates limitation and the unexpressed aspects of existence is really what karma is. So it asks us to return again and again and again to redo and see if we can do it any better. But we are limited Two-dimensional vision does not allow too much increased vision. What can be done about that? Well, we can get a fourth point to this triad. And what we then have is a three-dimensional pyramid. The fourth point is the masculine component of spirit. It is the equivalent of a little 2-year-old boy. And it is the absolute spirit of adventure. When we renew within our lives the spirit of adventure, life becomes more three-dimensional. What is it that has stifled and killed this aspect of our being? Lack of trust. Reason has said that if it is safe, I will tell you so. If I cannot deduce that it will be safe, don't do it. And so it keeps us within its box of predictability. Let us find the areas of our life where we lack in trust, and with firmness abolish our doubts. Angel 45. Akvle Kla Nusvi. The opposition that results from separation consciousness manifests as a battle for supremacy between these aspects of existence. They don't see themselves as one, and thus they vie and compete for the flashlight to shine upon them. The angel continues to say, the prize is the presence of timeless existence's attention. The battle has produced casualties, and some of the original components of the structure of created life have become dormant. Sherchva usbech nanustavich arnasta. As you live in physicality, know that you are not the body, that your form instead is the eternal awareness that uses the body merely as a tool upon the stage of existence. Relax. This is a play. You cannot fail, for you are not the scriptwriter. Angel number 46. Nach Taver. The three realities of which we have spoken have become the carriers of the ghosts of past stories. When life moved through them, these stories were gathered and became the body and the soul and the spirit. The resulting density of accumulated information has created a mirror effect. Having originally been made as a tool of infinite expression, they now became a tool of self-observation. The result of the mutual destructiveness, however, was that the mirrors were distorted. As all mirrors are, in addition, they were also backwards. We have spoken about how these different levels of existence are vast bands made up of the building blocks of life, with just varying frequencies. In September of 2009, I traveled through these different bands of compassion, only to find that the building blocks had been ripped apart. They looked like a war zone. This is saying exactly the same thing. And And not only are they distorted like the mirrors you would find at a carnival or a fair, designed to make you laugh, but they are, of course, as all mirrors are, also backwards. Number 47. Hira Avaset. Chechba Ruxta Minech Aruxava Urnaset Spechninusarak Pilshpravi. Because timeless luminosity could not move through them, light rotated between them, bouncing off from one to another. Linear change was born. Like an echo bouncing off canyon walls, life becomes a weaker and weaker expression of the original intent. This has incredible, thought-provoking material. It is really telling us that until we get off the treadmill, we are in one massive descension. It seems like we're moving around in circles of ascension, descension, ascension, descension. But in fact, every circle, like the bouncing sound of the canyon walls, is weaker and weaker. It is time for us to get off that treadmill of illusion. 48. Mish Naver. The damage of the physical's three components has been most aggravated in its frequency. It's feminine, also known as white frequency component. The physical cosmos has been infiltrated by the parallel cosmoses of spirit and soul. The spirit cosmos's infiltration has been so pervasive that it has controlled the way physical life is programmed to express. The physical layers of the physical cosmos, which is masculine, have traded portions of the feminine, its soul or white frequency, for non-cataclysmic programming by spirit. The physical has sold its soul for peace. 49. Sutvavi. Chibarechne sa uhuruk nasa. Keshvech anus parek. Bin claves erek nasut. Beles harsbi. Both the soul cosmos, which is black frequency, and the spirit cosmos have deliberately engineered cataclysmic events in the physical cosmos. Shock releases energy and life force, which they feed on. There's a tremendous, insightful discussion in the online course known as the Book of Gods and Men about these parallel realities, and it was first featured in January of 2011. It speaks in there about how these are three tyrants, and you find the same form of tyrants in your environment in everyday life. This way of creating shock in order to drain your energy, you can see in those in your environment that deliberately do shocking things, that deliberately keep you off balance, that deliberately push you out of your comfort zone. They speak too loudly, they do the unthinkable, they are always completely unpredictable, etc. And they thrive on that little bit of shock that they can cause each time with their actions, because you lose it and they suck it up like vampires. Angel number 50. Puhurarat. The soul reality, black frequency, has infiltrated the physical cosmos to a large extent as well. The black frequency, or soul, has become more powerful than the white frequency that belongs in the physical cosmos. This is also the case because physicality has given pieces of its white frequency away to spirit as a payoff, not to hurt it. It has now, this black frequency, begun to cancel out white frequency. Humans have become more and more soulless. The balance of nature has been disrupted, and animal species have disappeared. We often wonder how there can be such tremendous interest in death and blood and gore. It has become the dominant entertainment form on video games, on movies, even in the books that our young people are reading. What is the attraction? First of all, as humanity becomes more and more soulless, remember physicality is feminine, which is its soul, is white frequency, and it is being overpowered by black frequency, cancelling it out. It requires more and more intense stimuli to make people feel anything at all. Secondly, it has very little vitality, and so it requires the vitality that it gets from seeing death. Death empowers all that it touches. It is an attempt at empowerment, but it fails because the death is simulated and not real. Only when a being moves from life to death is there a great release of resources that those left behind may benefit from. The fake deaths on our screen will not provide what so many seek. Nubit Asaklut is the angel that tells us that in our knowingness, no portion of existence can be mapped out. If we know that, then the strictures of old fossilized programs dissolve. We have tried to map out life, to plan our futures, to learn from our past, trying to plan the futures of others, like our children, like partnerships. It is fine to create a slight intention for future direction. But if life should steer us differently, due to obstruction, or because another door says, "Knock on me, and I shall reveal for you the joy of your heart," then we must change fluidly. Fluidity is the hallmark of mastery. It does not hold on to the old, for to do so is to invite the death of the great potential held in the moment. The one who delights with perfection revealed. Lutravet, inspiration through relationship. When life is not mapped out in its strictures and its boxes, it reveals unimagined perfection. And our relationships, no longer put into categories, no longer defined, no longer held by ties that bind, that too becomes a source of freedom, joy, and inspiration. Number 42. Nunuter. What we remember is but the static experiences we believe we had, but they are no more, washed away by the unfolding moment. What we have forgotten is not gone, because that which gave it expression is eternal. Ki sanar, mastery of the tool of matrices, the one who exposes the flawlessness of the life of no judgment. It is past experience that makes us have judgment. This causes pain. Therefore, it is bad. This creates a journey of least resistance. Therefore, it must be good. This is acceptable. That is non-acceptable according to the belief systems encasing our life. Judgment comes from the past. The flawlessness of life cannot be revealed in the presence of judgment. And judgment comes from defining ourselves, our values, and dictating the actions of the moment by the past. The mastery of the tool of matrices. The matrix holds all the values of the race, all the protocols, belief systems, and imprisoning programs of man are held in the matrix. It is when we realize them for what they are that we can play joyfully between these prison bars of life without getting caught. Identity traps awareness. So do the belief systems. Let us not be trapped. Let us be fine to live a life that has no value judgments, no past, no future. Let us move through the window of the present into the timelessness of beingness, that which gave expression to life. Number 43. Bret Branatu. Membranes are divisive, unreal creations, formed by the belief systems we form in trying to create predictability where none can exist. The one who promotes the eternal perspective, Sivatru, knowing the boundless self. Membranes have no place in boundlessness. That eternal perspective sees beyond our boundaries, sees beyond the membranes. The membranes of existence formed by the divisiveness of man, who defines himself by his tribe, by his experiences. This is what I am, that is what I'm not. In such definitions, he makes himself small and separate from life, forming a membrane of identity. The race's divisiveness form membranes between the eternal moments of cosmic life, what the Hindus call the in-breaths and out-breaths of cosmic unfoldment. And those membranes form divisions in which we are, and which we were, and which we are yet to be. And now our life becomes linear. In linearity lies mediocrity. Let us be that behind every action lies our boundlessness, that we are playing with relationship, ourselves, the rose we pick, but that it is a piece of ourself that we are enjoying. 44. Kalanek, the one who awakens new songs of indivisible expression. Pirarut, freedom from the illusion of the real and the unreal. Kalanek, the one who awakens new songs of indivisible expression, forms our windows into the indescribable grandeur of our being. When we believe them to be solid and static, we cut ourselves off from experiencing the vastness of our being. Our body, soul, and spirit are the lenses to see near or far, a wide focus or contracted focus, as we look through the windows of form. In the Atlantean language, the angel is called Pirarut, freedom from the illusion of the real and the unreal. Forms being windows into the indescribable grandeur of our being is the true definition of what it means when we say, I am the door of everything. When we believe that we are our form and that they are unchangeable and unmalleable to our creation and intent, they become denser, and that is when we cease to experience life's eternal perspective and the vast miracle of ourself. Our body, soul, and spirit, seen only as the lenses through which we can observe a boundless self, must be meditated upon. Call upon this holy angel to assist you to grasp this, that physical life not become an identifying factor we hold onto until soul steals its life force away and we go to the spirit world. If we know these to be lenses, they do not need to alternate in expression. And at that point, life and death, ascension, they become one. And we re-enter the timelessness of our being. Magic and miracles come to the one who know that their bodies and their souls and their spirits are just the lenses for a wide or a contracted focus as we look through their windows into indivisible oneness of expression. 45 represents the radiant one who brings gifts of the Spirit. Elisar, valuing the boundless beingness. The riddle of the mind is the impermanence of shapes, which can be understood only without thought. For it is part of the contradiction of that which is. Realities can be changed in a second, and the mind will not register the change. Mind functions on predictability. It functions on form and shape being permanent. It denies all else. Many, many times, the whole reality around us on earth and more around individuals change. Associations change, buildings change, functions change, and we know it not. For the instant change in what could be equated to a computer program is not registered by mind. It thinks of reality as solid because it has done its utmost to make it so, to erect the partitions and definitions and belief systems, to keep reality from changing. But the inexorable flow of expressing life break down these partitions, something that mind does not understand. And thus, we never know when from moment to moment, life has become completely new. It can only non-cognitively register as a feeling. ish balavechve, nesetrech huraspi, mis prarut als kla, sech vi bikrechve anatravis, masutrach melevispa praurat. Angel 46. Etreka paranutvi. The angel was also called by the Egyptians as well as the Atlanteans Kitra Blut, relationship as the poetic impetus, the one who awakens the song of health. The riddle of the heart is the comprehension that if one changes, all changes, because the distinction between the one and the many does in reality not exist. Mathematics is just an illusory tool of the senses to affirm the appearance of the one and the many. Mathematics is a tool of mind, so that yet again it can divide life a little further in order to gain a little more control. Dividing the one from the many is an artificial distinction. Let us now look at the riddle of the heart, taught by ancient mystics called Naguals to their apprentices as they desired to lead them to freedom from the illusions spun by mind. Size is nothing to the infinite, because space does in fact not exist. And thus it is that the one is as vast as the entire existence, and the entire existence is as vast as the one. The ocean is in the island, and the island is within the ocean. When we change, even slightly, the alchemy changes. The heart governs alchemy. If 1 + 1 in alchemy can equal 96 in physicality, 1 + 1.5 or 2 will now equal something else. It is essential that we realize that every act is imbued with the power to change the alchemical equation of possibilities expressed by life. Every act is an act of power. When we live from this knowingness, we have solved the riddle of the heart, and life becomes empowered. 47. Susutra, the one who unlocks the journey of happiness. Peletrut, valuing opposites as tools of artistic expression. The riddle of the spirit is the comprehension that within pure existence, no opposites can exist. Opposites are the imagined canvas for the poetry of expression. Linearity is the paintbrush. In order for the stage play of life to take place, there has to be a stage, an imagined stage, but still the opposition of two opposites opens such an imaginary stage, such a space in which we can create the poetry of life. Linearity is not the scourge nor the imprisonment that we have imagined it to be. It is the paintbrush of poetry and art that lives. Pure existence, having no opposites, is the one that imagines such a space. As we learn to live the soul by living the riddle of the heart, the full song of the body by living the riddle of mind, and the full present expression in fluid unfolding of spirit by living the riddle of spirit, we find that we have boundless health, boundless resources, all-knowingness. For all-knowingness does not mean knowing all at once, but knowing what needs to be known, as is required for unfolding life. The riddle of the spirit, when it is mastered, these three veils of existence part, an indivisible life, without beginning and without end, reveals itself. "48. Minik V, the one who reveals the wisdom in folly. Nek Vrabit, the Atlantean name. Nek Vrabit means mastering an existence beyond opposites. The light-based cosmos we've been living in is the equivalent of an initiate's experience. The initiate is still in identity consciousness. And even though he or she has shed many illusions, he still arrogantly tries to categorize his world, thinking he knows. The initiate is the first phase in the first stage of human evolution, the stage of identity consciousness. Before this stage, where one puts his feet on the road of seeking enlightened information about the self and its journey, it cannot even be called humanness. It's as though others who have not yet reached this very initial stage are in a hole below ground zero. In this phase, when truth is grasped, it is clung to, it is etched in stone, seen as something that must be revered and remembered and carried forward. So yet there is the arrogant inclination to categorize the world, thinking that we know. Many are in this way of life. Healers think they know. Counselors think they know. Parents think they know. Truth seekers think they know. It is imperative that let humility be cultivated. For that which is etched in stone, the truths that we cling to, is but the old forgotten dreams we have left behind. For the imagined stage of life is a dream within a dream within a dream, as one act plays yield from one to the other. 49. Belvaspata. The field of life known as the emotional or black light field has addiction as its challenge. The same challenge an adept would face. The black field, or the reality of the soul, to the earth it is the spirit world, has become inactive and addicted to watching the drama of physical life. Let us see now how this is mirrored in our own life as we spend time that is freedom from work or labor in front of a television, in front of a computer screen. Input, input, input. Let us bring balance to the input with the output of expression. Art, poetry, sport. Whatever it is that allows the song of self to sing forth, let us balance that we too may not become addicted to another's idea of life. The angel of fertile creativity. Fertile creativity is that which births new ideas, new concepts, that creates something that wasn't there before. It is this that prevents the addiction taking place. Harsarat, called also Sunahit, releasing unnecessary compulsive cycles. The angel of revealing advantageous circumstances. The challenge for the field known as the spirit field is the abuse or loss of power. The loss of power has come because this field of neutral polarity has gathered perception from watching the physical field while becoming powerless through inaction and in part abandonment of self-expression. We have regarded the soul field as our higher self and the spirit field as our highest self. But in asking them for guidance, they have given guidance that would perpetuate the drama. This has in some way revealed itself also in our ascended mastery realms, where inactivity and expansion of being has kept it from being virile and vital. The drama of human life, the television show for the soul and the spirit. These levels of life mirror the stages of evolution of man. Man becomes an initiate, losing all old belief systems and feeling itself on great unevenness of ground. This brings about the challenge of fear. Physical life is fearful because it feels as though it cannot properly see, since it sees mostly in depth and not in width. Then, in the evolutionary stages of man, the initiate becomes the adept that sees no longer just what is in front of him, but with width. And every time there is something seen behind the appearances, a feeling of triumph releases endorphins, and the adept could also become addicted to the drama that brings him the insights so that he can have this feeling of accomplishment. This represents the soul field or the higher self. Next in identity consciousness of man is mastery. And in mastery, there is the inclination to either overpolarize into beingness, which brings about the addiction to drama outside itself, because it has abandoned self-expression, or overpolarizing into doingness, and thus the master, instead of seeking a balance of perception and power, seeks only power. These are the stages through which man evolves. Beyond this stage lies God consciousness, again an expanded stage, for the big triad mirrors the little triad, and beyond it, ascended mastery, overpolarizing into the non-physical, beingness, or the physical, doingness, if we do not maintain a dynamic balance. In our lives now, let we make sure that activity does not outweigh input by creatively doing the activities of our life.
Istaneneje tamani shatayasu skevech visata kiaku sana ersheye sata. It is the reference point. It is that which makes the villagers believe that they are home. It is the sound of the church bells that call them from the moment they first open their eyes to when they last close them. It tells them all is well. It tells them there is a parent. It is the sound of the bell that watches over their lives. High up in the pine forests, on the edge of the snow, there is a cuckoo's nest. It is a nest he stole from another bird. He is very clever, he thinks, to steal such a well-made bird's nest. Surely, a prospective mate will appreciate such a skillful bird. Thus he sits in his new home, calling to a mate, "Come and see the prize that I have won." High over the pristine white caps of the mountains, the moon rises over the snow. Serene, unflappable, undisturbable upon its course. It gazes down on the actions of man, and it understands not why there is such a fuss when life is eternal. But it searches not for answers. It doesn't need to know. It just observes, in amazement, the hustling crowds, the lights of the cars, like a never-ending river of yellow and red light. High up in the sky, beyond even the moon, a spacecraft glides without a sound. It has come to do what for generations the people of that planet have done, to study humanity. They do not comprehend. They search for meaning where there is none. For man has within him the seething passions of a tumultuous sun, the cool compassion of a lake, the hot steam of geysers that rise from the crust of the earth for eons, bursting into the sky. Man has the fluid flow of a river stream. Like a bird, his mind darts. Like a swan, he sails with grace across unknown waters. Within man are all the pieces that in other races are but found in part. One can only comprehend that which is within you, not that which you don't have. Their search for meaning for the actions of man will have no answers. In a clearing, in a deep forest, far from the lights of man, the spacecraft lands. A lone visitor walks through the forest where glowworms glow, reminding him of the stars in the sky through which he has just traveled. All these you are, not just the things of earth. You are upon a journey of self-discovery, when you can feel the true, authentic and real expression of all beings, of the ancient rocks, of the shifting sands, of the baby marveling at his environment. Then you have truly become one with all. Allow life to move through you. Move through it without judgment. For in your surrendered oneness, naught can defile you or stick to you. That is not who you are. Allow deep breaths to release all fear about the unknown. There is nothing unknown when you are everything. Yet, in an ever new perspective, everything is unknown. Allow all past dreams to drift away. Feel it leave your limbs and your body until all the tension is gone. Haye sheye, maspao seye na. I release my addiction to the tension that sustains the illusion of physicality. Kiavachne Sedeni Usa Pishpaknechki Tiana. I stand in wonderment through the unfolding glory of my being. Mishtehinehya Subeki Iasa Neshkeve I see with amazed appreciation through the eyes of a child. Sikia sunat ichbekiach nava kisuta ikienesau. I flourish wherever I find myself, and as I do, the earth does too. Kisaye tamaniyenasu eshtehne sabahu iskeveyanat eshkle masa. All things are mine to know, even though I obscure them from my vision in order to discover them anew. Shihaye sehye nan sabakive a eeyech nesu shamnich nevisaya. I contemplate the wonders of my being in my dreams, and I awake to discover them anew. In the eyes of others do I see myself. Ishatehne misna isabiki hayesh ukine ehikena sabasut ishtehna sava. I am in love with life. I consume it in succulence with deep, aware appreciation. Nista mechinese iuyechne vesa. Kunimise sabavi. My life is imbued with power. As I walk in the journey of the subtle nuances of my depth, of my eternal being, I release all dependence on the external as a source of inspiration. Siyakuchi ina avayehkiasa. There is no internal or external. I fill my inner and outer space as one.
Eseklut, Sivahut, Nenes. Imperviousness through good intentions. Veresh, Nenevech, Subatut. Veset Veresh Vi. Vanquish opposition through alignment with infinite intent. Elestur, Huspavet, Serasut. Global evolution gracefully. Eseklut, Sivahut, Nenes. Imperviousness through good intentions. Veresh, Nenevech, Subatut. Veset Veresh Vi. Vanquish opposition through alignment with infinite intent. Elestur, Huspavet, Serasut. Global evolution gracefully. Eseklut, Sivahut, Nenes. Imperviousness through good intentions. Veresh, Nenevech, Subatut. Veset Veresh Vi. Vanquish opposition through alignment with infinite intent. Elestur, Huspavet, Serasut. Global evolution gracefully. Eseklut, Sivahut, Nenes. Imperviousness through good intentions. Veresh, Nenevech, Subatut. Veset Veresh Vi. Vanquish opposition through alignment with infinite intent. Elestur, Huspavet, Serasut. Global evolution gracefully. Eseklut, Sivahut, Nenes. Imperviousness through good intentions. Veresh, Nenevech, Subatut. Veset Veresh Vi. Vanquish opposition through alignment with infinite intent. Elestur, Huspavet, Serasut. Global evolution gracefully. Eseklut, Sivahut, Nenes. Imperviousness through good intentions. Veresh, Nenevech, Subatut. Veset Veresh Vi. Vanquish opposition through alignment with infinite intent. Elestur, Huspavet, Serasut. Global evolution gracefully.
Belvaspata Expansion. Quisiera